Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Who are you guys? I'm sure you are on good health. Before I start, have you guys known me already? There is a saying that if you don't know a person, how can you love the person? Therefore, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Aisyah Rizkiya Ramadhani. You can call me Aisyah. I'm from MTsN Blora. First of all, let us praise to the presence of God, the merciful God who has bestowed our pleasures for the health, the opportunities, and the happiness that we feel today. Without His mercy, it is impossible for all of us to enjoy this. Secondly, salawat and greetings remind prayer to the Prophet Muhammad SAW, who has been fighting for Islam and guiding us on the path of Allah Almighty. Furthermore, allow us on this happy occasion, I would like to share my speech about good morals for maintaining Indonesian cultural tradition to compete globally in 5.0 era. Respectable judges, do you realize that Society 5.0 is now in full swing? Even if we frequently hear about Society 5.0, we also frequently read about it. Many people are unaware of what Society 5.0 is. Different technical concepts are evolving quickly together with the time. One of these is the idea of Society 5.0, which the Japanese government originally introduced. A technology-based and human-centered social model is called Society 5.0. The phrase Society 5.0 has already recently gained popularity, namely on January 21, 2019, and period where humans are expected to be able to use different technologies created during the Industrial Revolution 4.0 to improve the quality of human life and address various challenges and societal issues. This idea is a development of several layer ideas. Assuming that humans are in the era of hunting and are familiar with riding in Society 1.0. Then comes Society 2.0, the era of agriculture when people first began to farm. The industrial period in which people used machinery to assist with activity has begun in Society 3.0. And Society 4.0 or Industrial Revolution 4.0, where people are accustomed to internet and computer technologies. The idea that all technology is part of people now is known as Society 5.0. This demonstrates that the internet is helpful for more than just sharing information and analyzing data. As a result, there will be a balance between the usage of technology and the function of human society. Ladies and gentlemen, without our knowledge, the current of globalization has evolved into representative for shifts in the advancement of human civilization that take place so quickly and suddenly. We all experience both positive and negative effects from the rapid pace of globalization. The advancement in the technology allow us to speak with anyone, anywhere, and at any time without being constrained by time, place, or distance. Not only anything that happened yesterday, but information or news that is current can be enjoyed for the fast. Through social media or internet news, we may instantly learn about recent ongoing occurrences. No longer is it necessary to travel far to the library to read and learn. Simply visiting a few informational and scientific websites is enough to provide us with quality reading material. Globalization ongoing effects are not all favorable. That are adverse effects. Consider what happened to the millennial generation young people. When information is not adequately filtered, millennial youths are more likely to consume harmful content via the internet, television, publication, and other sources. The sophistication of electronic gadgets make it simple to access things that are not meant for their consumption. For instance, material that overtly promotes violence, protection, and other undesirable traits. Dear my lovely brothers and sisters, the millennial generation is currently very reliant on social media. But they do not yet pass a powerful filter that would allow them to filter the information they get. Even nevertheless, ethics is crucial in preventing disputes in social situations. Therefore, the millennial generation must get ready by developing their character. As we can see, Indonesia is a nation renowned for its diversity. This motherland is adorned by hundreds or possibly thousands of different ethnic tribes. Following the formation of these tribes, several cultures emerged. Can you grasp the depth of Indonesian cultural diversity? But how many Indonesian cultures can we actually name? Maybe I'll have a few fingers worth of answer. Sad for sure. But this is the situation right now. A more contemporary status way of life which is as a result of the globalization age. People frequently select a new culture over the native one because they believe it to be more practical. The happy occasions we should be proud of the diverse culture in our nation. We have to keep it. But why do we ignore it and actually do even care? Nobody is aware. So is it crucial to protect culture, particularly national culture? Of course it matters. In my opinion, Indonesian culture gives all of us a sense of who we are as a nation. In the age of globalization, culture must be able to keep up with the process itself. Globalization is crucial, but should we blindly adopt it? No, we must be able to distinguish between what is good and harmful as educated citizens. We must keep the good and discard the bad. Globalization is not always a good thing. In the realm of culture, globalization poses a threat to a region's original culture. In this case, the culture of our country. Although many of our young people are brilliant and intelligent, but only a small number of them are genuinely serious in their desire to uphold and advance the culture of the country. Simple and all is the response. The desire to maintain local culture among youth is dwindling in the era changes. Because the impact of globalization, the failure to recognize the importance of preservation, cultural values, the advancement of science and technology, and the large number of Indonesian culture that are claimed by other countries. Now, the question is, what part does the youth play in safeguarding the culture of the country? Very counter, youth still play a major part in efforts to protect the national culture. The current youth generation doesn't appear to care about the national culture, which is what makes this country is unique. They prefer to follow what they refer to as trends and refer to the culture of the country as being ancient. In this case, the nation's culture must continue to be recognized by the international community as the culture of the Indonesian state. As a young generation, we must ache and fight. We must ache and fight. The youth of this country should adopt this duty as habit since it will always be necessary. But what is actually occurring right now is that the younger generation has forgotten who they are and where they come from. Culture, what can be heard must be heard. What can be seen must be seen. And what can be utilized must be used. All of this should make us proud. In order for other regions to be aware of and interested in learning about our culture, we must be able to demonstrate it. Even if we can demonstrate our culture to other nations so that they genuinely appreciate it. By preserving the culture, we hope to keep our culture alive and prevent its extinction. So, let the younger generation, the youth, protect our culture, our traits, and show the world that we are the Indonesian people, magnificent country with a diverse culture. Happy audiences! We also certainly hope that culture will endure and be preserved for all time. We also hope that the next generation would wish to protect the culture of the country. What makes you? I think that young people have a more expansive perspective and abstract minds. They frequently act bravely. The key hope for youth in the fight to preserve the culture of the country is here. I think the younger generation can protect the culture of the country by making every effort. Of course, maintaining culture is more difficult than one may think. In addition to the size and diversity of our culture, a president will be necessary that will undoubtedly take some time. Additionally, I believe that culture needs to be assimilated. Must alter the culture's founding principle. Every firm must face challenges. Yes, that's correct. There must be barriers that stand in the way, just like with the preservation of the nation's culture. However, because this is a great responsibility for youth, it shouldn't be seen as a barrier. Rather, it should act as a catalyst and separate source of inspiration for them to keep trying. A duty that should be carried out by young people. One of the responsibilities for youth is to safeguard the national culture from extinction due to our action. Dear my lovely young Muslim, according to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, indeed, our saint is to a perfect good character. Therefore, it is exceedingly good if someone claims to be a Muslim but lacks a noble character, due to the faith that directly opposes Muhammad. It's time for the millennial generation to become involved in sharing uplifting information in light of current time. In order to produce the millennial generation that is wise, patient, and pious, A quality reading material must first go through numerous stages of preparation, including the formation of strong and maximum elements of Aqidah, Sharia, and morals. In order to create a knowledgeable and creative generation, education must also impart information and science and technology-based abilities. Actually, if we're being honest, millennials also need to be prepared to adjust to higher other thinking skills. The three most important skills are the capacity of critical thought, the capacity of creativity, and the capacity of solving complicated problems. To suit the requirements, humans must produce solutions more swiftly. Humans are impacted by this and are motivated to learn more and develop new technologies in order to survive. People today need to have the ability to act and thinking strategically. The capacity to think critically is crucial for navigating the Society 5.0 age, or critical thinking. As a young generation, the next generation will benefit greatly from understanding that culture is a priceless treasure. It is difficult to create culture, especially quickly. In order to uphold cultural tradition and combat in the age of globalization, we must also have strong values. Happy brothers and sisters! In the end of my speech, let us both to contemplate in our heart age. We need to be pleased with our own culture, considering that other countries are envious of what we have. Be mindful of Indonesian culture. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for the nice time given to me, and I do apologize for my mistakes. Have a nice day, everybody. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.